Welcome back to Star Trek Bridge Commander, everyone. I am your host, the Housecode Gamer, and today we're taking a look at some of the boats I have created. This, of course, is my first, the Pioneer-class light cruiser. Pretty little thing. It's almost a one-to-one recreation of the original from STO. Almost. Now, full disclaimer, I'm going to say it right now because it has to be said. I suck at making textures. It takes a brave man to admit that he can't do something, but I can't. I cannot make textures to save my life, so it has to be said. If anyone wants to texture these things and send them to me to port them over to Trek Wars Revival and the like, let me know. Next is my Klingon recreation and semi-modernization of the Kahos-class light cruiser from Klingon Academy and Star Trek Starfleet Command. I got rid of the ridiculous command pod and put in a more D7 style one with I'm going to say an attempt at recreating the bridge module for the original. This is my second model, after all. Don't expect it to be perfect. Of course, I went a little crazy on some of the details. For example, all those little disruptor cannons and the big ones, those are not present on the original model. Same with the disruptor beam emitters, which admittedly are kinda crappy. But then again, I can't exactly do any precise twisting and editing. The Centurion class Bird of Prey. This is another SFC Klingon Academy boat, which I did my best to recreate as faithfully as possible while also giving it a bit of a higher poly count. I fully admit that I may not have gotten the job right. But, like I said before, it takes a brave man to admit that he might have screwed up, and, well, I may have screwed up. Still. And then there's my latest creation, which, well, I'm actually kind of proud of. Sin of pride, but hey, there it is. This is the Goro class from STO. A near one-to-one recreation. I say near because, well, I couldn't get all the details. You know, inside the nacelles, inside the everything. I had to use the model viewer to make... I used the model viewer to discover that this thing actually has a third strut connecting it to the rest of the ship. That's a little bit mind-blowing. Of course, it isn't perfect. But again, better that I admit it's not perfect than argue about it. Of course, there's also a sub-model. My recreation, which, well, I will fully admit that I probably did not do the best job at recreating Excelsior-style nacelles. Better that I admit it, right? But this is how I think the Goro should have looked, with a more Excelsior-style engineering hull. You know, instead of that ridiculous dorsal shuttle bay with the cutout deflector, which, by the way, I'm not entirely happy with. Again, better to say that I'm not happy than to, well, you get the idea. But yeah. Still incorporates most of the custom parts because I was a tad bit lazy. But then again, my only real problems with this thing were all these extraneous parts and the warp nacelles, which I fixed, kind of. It's not perfect, but what do you think? Is anyone interested in texturing my collection? Because, once again, fully admitting, I am garbage at texturing. Of course, I will be continuing my recreations of STO boats, specifically ones from the TMP era, as soon as I figure out what the hell I'm doing next, because there are a lot of boats. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this update, because, well, I think I went a little crazy on this one. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.